Yeah, I definitely think there is some potential there. But I think look at how these companies talk about it, right? They talk about this sort of optimized future where each individual order is large enough, and the areas they're operating in, there's enough density of orders that people can do this sort of ballet of efficient ordering, that they can drop off 10 orders in a single block, and then everybody involved makes money, including the grocer and the courier and everybody else involved in the transaction. But I think, we've seen these sort of real-time or fast delivery services for many, many years, and technology does make them more efficient. But the thing that hasn't changed is just the simple physics of a human on physical roadways taking a physical product from A to B. And there's only so much efficiency you can sort of wring out of that system without everyone involved breaking, either financially or physically.
Yeah, but I see something else happening. For example, there have been headlines that Tony Xu himself is invested in ghost kitchens. DoorDash has told me that they've got multiple restaurants, particularly during the pandemic, that were launching new concepts in like an old kitchen. So you've got multiple restaurants operating out of a kitchen. Now they're doing alcohol delivery in 20 states and D.C., which certainly has a higher margin. And this double dash thing, where arguably, to your point, you order groceries, but you can also get a meal delivered from another place at the same time. If they're successful in that, it not only changes the basic efficiency of the old system, it kind of creates a new system for restaurants, doesn't it?
I agree. Yeah, I think there's interesting things happening. But a couple questions come to mind about companies like DoorDash. They're sort of layering services on top of one another, sort of shifting away from third-party restaurants to essentially their own kind of kitchens. Is that an implicit acknowledgement that the business models as they have existed don't really work, right? And, if you look at a company like DoorDash, focusing its attention on non-restaurant kinds of transactions, well, what does that mean about the vast majority of the business that they and other food delivery companies are in today, which is, taking a hamburger or a pizza order from an existing restaurant to a customer? And it also does take away some of the value proposition, the community value proposition that companies like DoorDash have always pitched, right? If they're basically saying, we want more orders to come from these ghost kitchens, from restaurants that don't exist in the real world, but are basically commissary kitchens. That does mean that their promise of sort of helping small businesses, helping the local burger joint on the corner stay afloat in this delivery world, it does kind of take away from that particular pitch of companies like DoorDash.
Hey, Shira, Aswath Damodaran of NYU Stern was asked about this earlier in the week, and he was skeptical on delivery as it pertained to grocers because the grocery business is so classically low margin that he doesn't think they'll over time be able to pay for those delivery fees. I wonder if you're seeing sort of a ladder of feasibility where maybe liquor works because the margins are fat, but in other businesses, not so much.
I think that's it. I think the idea, the initial idea was that delivery of anything, anywhere will work. And I think the more nuanced explanation might be that delivery of some things in some parts of the world work. Again, it has to be a high enough order volume or basket size on each order to make sense. The margin on delivering a $5 order of like Doritos and milk is very different than delivering $100 of groceries, right? And delivering $100 of groceries is very different in a dense place like Seoul, South Korea, or New York City in many neighborhoods than it is in a suburb of Iowa City, right? So I think there has to be this more nuanced look at, do these delivery services really work? Does the sort of Uber for everything anywhere really work all of the time?